Hey guys, here to do the March 30th transit, which will include, we have a full moon coming up on April 2nd, and I missed the last one. So I missed the last transit. It was kind of crazy for me to think that as a manifestor with limited energy, that I was going to show up every 6 days and do a long ass video. It's just probably not going to happen. I'm going to miss some, but I'm happy to be here to do this one. It's some energy that I have constantly. It's in my chart, but we're all experiencing it right now, and I think it's really fucking cool. Last week was really heady. It was all up in the head and ajna. It was making sense of all the stuff coming in, and I felt that very much. I was very much in this very planning, making sense of all that's going on here. Now we've moved down to the heart center, the willpower center. Gate 21, it is the gate of biting through, or the gate of the hunter, huntress, and it forms a channel with gate 45 in the throat center, and that is known as like the money channel. And so, judging by the names, this gate energy is all about authority, leadership, and control. And so that's kind of the themes going on over the next few days, and a big part of full moon rituals can be what is necessary to release, what can we let go of. And so this idea of control will be a really nice thing to ponder as we head into this full moon, because a lot of times releasing control and trusting is a big energy cleanser for us. It takes a lot off our plate when we can just notice, okay, what's in my control, what's out of my control, what am I really stressing about that I could let go of. Okay, so this gate is all about practical resource management, and it really thrives when given control, right? There's this this thing throughout history that we really haven't seemed to learn yet, that when you take control and you force control and you force authority over everyone around you, it might work in the short term, but it turns out it doesn't work long term. So that still applies. It's still a lesson that we'll probably need to learn over and over. But when you have this leader that comes to be from their true, authentic stuff, their truest nature, they are leading in a way that is beneficial for everybody. So this next few days, maybe think about the things that people are encouraging you to manage. So where are you given control, and how do you thrive there? What are the areas that you really shine when you are in control? Maybe what areas of your life are you like forcing your control? And then on the flip side, we can kind of morph into the gene keys here, how they talk about the shadow. The shadow is control, and the gift is authority, right? This control, authority. You cannot have authority without some sense of control, and sometimes that control usually comes back onto yourself. And so usually what the shadow looks like is we're either buckling under the pressure, and we're trying to either control way too much, or we've given up and we're not controlling anything and we're just letting the world run us over. Both scenarios are fucking exhausting. They are just energy. You don't have anything left in your tank at the end of the day if you spend all of your time trying to control things that you cannot, or if you're just letting the world control you, if you're just being controlled by others 24/7, right? So there's this paradox, and it all comes back to this idea of balance. Parenting is a great way to think about this gate if you're a parent. I read books about parenting long before I became a parent. I read this when I started teaching, and it was this idea of meeting the hand, right? So we don't want to smack the hand, right? A lot of us were raised that way, and I think maybe there's some necessity to use a little more harsh, but we also don't want to just not even meet the hand, right? We don't want to just be like, yeah, see you later. We want to meet the hand. We want to meet them. We want to walk side by side. And I think the most brilliant leaders in our lives on a grand scale and a small scale are people that can meet someone where they're at and lead from that place of authentic love. And I really love what Richard Rudd brings up when he's talking about the gift, right? So losing control, keeping control, we have to figure out where that lands with us and in what areas. And the word authority has the word author in it. So what stories deep within us are asking to come out so that we can lead others through the darkness to the light? Like, what stories need to emerge for us to shine our inner authority? Because we all have the power of authority within us, and we all have an inner authority, and our lives run a lot more smooth and connected and aligned when we follow our inner authority first. And when we can shine that inner authority out, we automatically become magnetic, and we attract people to us that want us to lead, that are going to ask for our control, right? So the what's the word? It's just like the funny thing is that when you finally gain control, or when you gain authority, it's more about relinquishing control than it is about taking control. It's like you finally let go of the things you cannot control and let out your trust. You've opened your heart, you've opened your mind, you're not really closed off, and that's where true power comes from. So I'm gonna close the little talk just by bringing up this Hungarian folktale of the Twas horse. I'm probably going to butcher this. That's probably not even how you pronounce it. But it's this idea of this prince, his dad was the king in a faraway land, and he was really sick and he needed help. And they were like, okay, we're going to set you up on this mission. And to get there, we're going to give you this old, decrepit fucking horse and this rusty ass sword. And they're just kind of like, all right, dude, good luck. Go save the king. And he's, you know, most people in that scenario would be like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? But he is, you know, he's like, well, these are the cards I was dealt, and I gotta go help my dad, so let's go, horsey, giddy up. Soon he figures out that this horse might be old and decrepit, but he can fucking talk, dude. And he starts to build this beautiful relationship with this horse, and it has more power within it. It's this hidden gem of a horse. So it's like, I don't know, don't judge a book by its cover. And through the course of the journey, there's a lot of pain and a lot of struggle. He's got to let this horse die over and over and over and just trust. And every time the horse comes back stronger and more powerful. And eventually he's like this diamond powered horse that can fly through the air. And of course, bro saves his dad, becomes like the best shaman in all the land. And the shaman is an archetype for this gate in this gene key. Shamans are powerful leaders. They are chosen, and you know, they usually work alone. So there's a lot of inner work, a lot of isolation that will happen when you're a leader with this gate. And so I just love that little story of the horse. And yeah, what is the rusty sword or old horse that you're working with that probably has, you know, if you shined it in a new light? I think the world or the universe gives us all a rusty sword and then sets us up with the struggles that are going to help us shine that sword so we can come to battle prepared and ready to lead authentically, in a way that makes sense for us. And so getting into the body, the willpower is the heart center. And so we're going to think about our heart and our lungs because they're really connected, and we're going to travel, right? So our eyes can represent our lungs and our nose can represent our heart. And so we're going to be looking up and crossing our eyes. So we're going to be sending our eyes up and in. And I want you to think about this idea of your eyes going up and in. You can use your finger to kind of zoom in if you have trouble crossing your eyes. I definitely still have trouble crossing my right eye. And so we want to kind of cross our eyes and look up, and you're going to keep that. And as you inhale, I can't keep it and teach you. You're going to inhale, and I want you to imagine your lungs squeezing in on your heart. And so you're building this beautiful awareness, this interoception of your lungs in your body, the depth of your body, your lungs squeezing in on your heart on an inhale. and an exhale. Maybe you can start to imagine the lungs and the heart lifting up in the front and down in the back. It's going to help push the kidneys down and out, fill out the low back that loves to be tense. We're inhaling, we're looking up, we're crossing our eyes. So we're squeezing our eyes into our nose, we're squeezing our lungs into our heart. Exhale, cool stream of air. Don't lose the pressure, don't shrink. Inhale. Smell your surroundings, take a big sniff, maybe swallow at the top, pause. Exhale. Cool stream of air. You can pause the video. You're going to set your timer for 60 to 90 seconds, and you're really going to focus on that. And I want you to start to think about your heart lifting from this place deep within yourself, front to back. And so we're not like just arching and moving our ribs, but instead thinking about this deep, deep elevation of my heart and my lungs coming up in the front and down in the back. Okay, looking up, crossing the eyes. Big sniff, inhale. Cool stream of breath, exhale. After you do that for 60 or 90 seconds, we're going to bring it down to our hands. Our hands can tell us so much about all the things that we're trying to control, because when we are feeling out of control or trying to grasp for control, we're going to talk a lot with our hands. We're going to squeeze our hands in. So for so many people, getting our thumb to open is really hard. I'm going to guess that those people might have some control issues to work through. Not calling you out, but calling you out. Okay? So we're going to really try to open up our hands so that our pinky knuckle and our thumb knuckle are on the same plane. That might be where you're at right now. Just like, holy shit, it's hard to open my hands. I didn't even notice that. Okay, and now I want you to have your middle finger, right, the midline. We're always working towards this midline, our spine. We're trying to build a strong center, and so we're always looking for the midline. I want the midline, my middle finger, to be in line with the middle of my forearm. I want my forearms to be about parallel. I'm going to spread my hands, and I'm going to squeeze my forearms, my elbows into my ribs. So I can breathe my ribs out into my arms. They're squeezing in and connecting me back into my center. All this blood is going to fill into my hands, my forearms. I'm going to grow that, and I'm going to push all of that blood back into my heart and make this nice, strong connection where I can know that it's okay to release control, to trust my heart, and to build that capacity to stay open, open-minded, open-hearted. And it's all about the pressure here, like the effort. So you're going to look at your hands, you might have to twist them around, and you just might notice, wow, there's so much tension all the way up my forearms when I try to open my hands all the way. You can kind of think about this vacuum through the center of your palm, sucking the air up through the center of your forearm, into your elbow, up into your heart. And again, you could pause the video, it's about to end anyway, but go ahead and do this for 60 to 90 seconds. Spreading out your hand, keeping your forearms parallel, building some sensation through your hands, through your forearms, and know that you're building a crazy, beautiful, amazing connection into your heart. Then you can start to combine it with this idea of lifting and the heart, squeezing the lungs around the heart. Eyes can look up. We can combine these drills in endless ways. It's just a matter of making yourself do them. So get off this video, open up your hands, let it feel uncomfortable and unnatural and weird, and sit with that. And just know you're not doing it wrong. You're doing it, period. You're doing it. You're showing up. Release the control about what it needs to look like, what it needs to feel like, and just give it a try. And just notice all the themes of control that swirl around over the next few days, especially on April 2nd when we have that full moon. Maybe write yourself a little love note of all the things you want to release control of and burn that shit.